massive technical issue over here at the National Racing Network World Broadcast headquarters here. Getting all of the graphics and stuff fired back up for you so we can get the timing and scoring up on the screen as well. And I'll tell you what, guys, I am absolutely floored. Porcelli, Smith, Burns, Baustin, McConville, the top 5 right now. Outside of one car having a little bit of a wall scrape while we were down, this really has been incredibly clean at the front of the field.
Yeah, these
Everybody
guys want
behaving themselves at this point.
They want to get to the end. They're still only halfway through, not even. After they come by this time, it will be halfway through. So still a long way to go here. A 30-minute race around the oval if this does stay green. Nobody should have any issues on fuel. Everybody should have more than enough fuel. Even David Porcelli up front, never lifting. He should be in the green. And no troubles there with the open setup. Big wiggle there, 4 wide as they go through turn 3.
Yeah, they are really getting... They're getting antsy because it's lap 12 now, so it's 12 of 25. You're hitting the halfway point. It's kind of this point where you've been hanging back, and now it's time to start moving. So, oh, there's a huge crash on the front stretch.
Big pile up. Oh, they're going to wad up a bunch of race cars towards the back of the field here. Huge wreck down the front straightaway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 cars involved in this one. Indy Casey, looks like Matt Houston, Jacob Oster, Brandon Clough as well. Several cars going to be involved. Caution number 1.
And even Mr. Reliable Nagisa Yoshikawa just riding it out in the back. Lost the wheel on that one, so he has taken the tow in pit lane. That was it. That was the big move. Going 4 wide down the front stretch with the pit wall on the inside. First time the guys had tried it, and first time it did not work out. We got our first caution of the night.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And it really, I guess Ben will say a little bit maybe unsurprising given some of the craziness and side-by-sides and everything else that we had going on. That was really kind of abject insanity here. Once again, we apologize for the downtime. Basically, we had a blue screen of death over here at the World Broadcast headquarters, the mothership, if you will. Like Kylo has just mentioned, not going to see anybody coming down pit road unless the car is damaged, which we're seeing one of those making their way in right now. That's Nash Fry. Nash had really a nice run going at the front of the field. Some of the cars coming in towards the back. Derek Rolavelle, Dakota DeMeg, Brody Garner, Indy Cassie, Matt Houston also on the way down pit lane. Guys, I'll pose this question in general to both of you. What would possibly be the reason here? Just potentially a little bit of contact?
Yeah, they might want to get that front wing fixed up. They might want to maybe get the tire fixed up if they bump the wall. I know we had a car hit the wall while we were having issues. Maybe you want to shuffle yourself to the back of the field. I don't see a reason other than that.
Well, it is easy enough to move from the back of the pack up through the front here, especially with the number of cars that just got taken out. You're only going to be about 13th or 14th if you're the first car that went in there. So not too big of a risk. Yeah, lots of time still to make up, and can definitely move forward here. If the 2 lanes get going and you pick the right way, you can be up to the front and within a lap here.
Yeah, Team I5G checking in here saying Jacob is donezo. Yes, that's unfortunately putting it mildly. That car heavily damaged in the incident. Let's take a look here and get you an instant replay. We run the sim off of 2 separate computers just in case something crazy does happen. Jacob here, and let's get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Oh man, a couple of cars just making absolutely huge contact. And unfortunately, that's about all you need to get the car just completely jacked up here. So Jacob going to be sitting there on pit lane. The field making... Yeah.
That's a brutal hit. And when I watched the replay back, it looked like Boston, I don't think he saw Cassie to the outside of him at all. It doesn't look like he had any idea it was there, and he just kind of came up, and that was that.
Yeah, he was not clear, and he thought he was. He came up, and it was Fry in the 18 car that was on the outside of that one. He had every right to be out there. He was holding his line, trying to get a little side draft, and just moved over when there wasn't a space. So might have been in a blind spot there, and might have just had a bad spotter call. Unfortunate, but it happens.
Man. Yeah, you get to see these long pace laps, and you get down to 60 miles, 70 miles an hour, I think it is, and you just ride along because there was nothing. You're just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. Sitting at 75 right now.
Yeah, luckily the lights are out on the iRacing safety car, so we are going to green this time by everybody up on that outside wall ready to go.
And this is one of those times where it gives us a minute to talk about some of the other stuff that we've got going on. Check out the Pizza at the Pagoda podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. An hour and 40-minute long preview. And that's after we cut out about 25 minutes worth of stuff. Yeah. Huge.
An hour and 40 minutes of mostly sober rambling.
Mostly.
And a fairly tight 33 car preview, by the way. I think that was pretty tight.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff. The other one that will be coming tomorrow, a records that could be broken video will be premiering on our YouTube channel. You want to check that one out as well. But field is off of turn number 4. Green flag going to go back in the air. We're just past the halfway point. Green's out. We're back underway. They're single file right now, but it won't stay that way for long. Porcelli leads Burns, Smith, McConville, Berry, and Karszewski off of 1.
Porcelli got a huge jump. I don't know how long that's going to last.
Yeah, it could leave him vulnerable here as they exit turn number 2. Porcelli out in front by a car length. Ted Burns on the inside is behind him. Isaac Smith, the first car on the outside, he's going to be dropping back. McConville's going to take position number 3. Burns almost bump drafting Porcelli as they head down past the access road into turn number 3.
That top 5 was trying to break away, and it's just not going to happen. The suck is too good. 3 wide back behind them, a little bit deeper in the pack. Good Lord, we're going to pull that one up here. Well, we were going to pull it up on side by side.
Whoa, big block down the back straightaway. Deep in the pack. 9 laps to go now. This is a sprint to the end.
They're not going to play nice for much longer here as the field gets off of 1.
Yeah, I think the playing nice is done with. I think that's over.
Time to go for these drivers now. David Porcelli out in front by a car length over Ted Burns. On his outside, Isaac Smith. Andrew Berry is tucked up behind Smith in the outside lane. He's got his nose to the bumper. They're bump drafting down into turn 3. He's got to back off, though. Can't get much ground, though. They're side by side for position number 2 as they head to the short chute.
Don't look now. Here comes Jason Owens. 3 wide to the outside of turn number 4. Owens trying to go it alone down the front straightaway. Field all the way down by the attenuator. That will get dangerous late in the race. Who's going to go outside to help thus far? Nobody right now. Isaac Smith leads out of the middle lane. One car sliding up to the outside through 1. Still 2x2 at the front of the field.
Andrew Berry hooked onto that bumper of Isaac Smith. They're side by side for the lead now through corner number 2. David Porcelli leading the entire race so far. Finally has a challenger, and it's Isaac Smith with Andrew Berry in tow.
They are moving all over in that draft. It is getting real sketchy. I don't know if Smith, he needs enough of a push from Barry to get to the outside and slam the door on Porcelli, but I don't know if he can get it. It's so tight through there. This is going to be the shot. Can Barry get enough of a push on him here through the front straightaway to get him clear of Porcelli and get him to slam the door?
Oh my goodness, this is wild down the front stretch.
There he goes. He's going to close the door.
Oh man,
And
Smith
he did
got a
it.
shove at corner exit. What are they going to do off at 2?
New leader in the bottom line. It's Isaac Smith in the number 14 car. David
Coming
Porcelli now number 2 in line in the bottom. Ted Burns number 3. Andrew Berry's leading that top line now. He's got Jason Owens behind him. 3 wide back in the pack, 4 rows back. But it's Isaac Smith and David Porcelli looking to the outside as they go into the short chute into turn number 4.
They got the lap car of Nash Fry up ahead. I think he's going to be able to filter to the outside here, but that is going to squeeze them down, especially if they catch him at the wrong time.
I was going to say, they are going to catch him at an absolutely terrible time. Basically at the entrance to turn 2, I think. If not turn 2, definitely down the backstretch. We'll see if Fry is going to play nice at all. They're still 2x2, still bump drafting. This is getting really intense now.
Oh, they need to speed up. They don't want to catch him at the entrance to 3 here. That is not where you want to see a lapped car.
Porcelli committed to the outside line through turn number 4, and he's held that, and he thinks he's clear of Isaac Smith with Andrew Berry right up his rear end going into turn number 3. Fry's in the wall on the outside.
Right in the wall.
Clear he does. The caution might stay out here. We might avoid it as he keeps it out, and he does. Man, that could have been ugly, though. Left car into the wall on the outside just as the entire field goes by. Porcelli and Smith side by side to the Art of Bricks.
Oh man,
You know
now
what I'm seeing here?
Go ahead,
I'm
man.
really seeing this accordion effect of making moves and reacting to moves is starting to really pick up here. Somebody's going to make a move in a reaction to another one, and they're going to hit somebody. Because it's getting real dicey up front. We're hitting that point where everyone's making moves and no one's giving, everyone's taking.
3 wide for the race lead on corner 2 exit. Jason Owens has come alive in the outside lane. He's top of 3 right now. Porcelli and Barry in the middle. Isaac Smith on the bottom lane. Jason Owens has Mike McConneville behind him. They're close.
Oh, they're winding it up!
Trouble on the
There's a
racetrack.
huge wreck.
Lots of cars in the wall. One flipping end over end. That's the big one we were all looking for. Lap 21. We might have one more to go, but man, there was the incident we were all knowing was going to come.
Oh my goodness, that was
That is
huge.
Oh my gosh, you got a car up in the air for that one. That is massive. Now, not to jump ahead of the wreck here, Chris, but correct me if I'm wrong. We got 5 laps to go. I think we're going to get a 2-lap shootout here.
It's going to be close. Wow, that was huge for whoever that was up in the air. May have been either Antonio Alvarez or
I think it might have been Isaac Smith.
Yeah.
I think it was Isaac Smith. He has towed it into pit lane. Huge contact as we take a look at the replay. Just that bump drafting gone wrong. A slide here and a change of the lane there. It all is chained off. Multiple cars involved there.
Well, it wasn't Isaac that went around, but good Lord. Or not airborne, I should say. This is going to be very tight. I think we might get, man, I don't know. Because they'll get, if you're going to get 2 laps under caution, you'll get 1 lap for the lead lap cars to pit, 1 lap for the lap down cars to pit, and then you'll be coming back to green. So I think we're going to see a restart with either 1 or 2 laps to go. Man alive, this is going to be absolutely insane. And some of these drivers that made the move late in the race, I'm especially thinking here of Jason Owens and Brian Karszewski in the 19. These guys kind of hung towards the back of that lead pack, avoided the mess. How did they even attempt the pass with if it's one lap to go, you really don't have much time to make the move.
Well, the first move you have is to try and jump the restart. I mean, that's the move, right? You try and jump the restart, get a better run going into 1 because it's a long run down. If it's 1 lap, you got to hang back, and entering 3, you got to start. You got to start your run. They're going to top out around the back straightaway, somewhere in that middle lane, and you got to really time the run so that you can pass as you're hitting the start finish line, because you don't need to get in front of them. You don't need to complete the pass. You just need to get that nose ahead. So that's going to be the real. And I think I can't quite see if the pace lights are off here, but we might be getting 2. 2 laps.
I think it's going to be 1 to go this time, which will be lap 24. So they'll get a white flag as the final lap. So a single lap of green flag racing here.
Let's bring in Jason Owens here and see if we can't get a quick word with him. And Jason, you did a nice job of kind of holding towards the back here, keeping yourself out of trouble. I know you didn't want to see the wreck happen with 5 to go, but is there a strategy to try to get to the front here with only 1 lap to get it done?
So there's 2 things here. One, I have to try and willpower the guys behind me and not Colton Hurta them, and also not get absolutely draft blasted by them as we come on out of turn 2. So it's going to be super, super tough. I really think Dakota Matt is like the prime spot to take the win right now. Because you're going to get such a big draft going into 1. I just want to finish this thing. I haven't finished 1 all week yet. It's been a blast out here. We were just saying in race chat, we bet you guys are going nuts on the broadcast, getting the green checkers here.
Yes, this is what we've been looking for all week long, Jason. Thank you very much for checking in with us here. And man, I'll tell you what, guys, and Kylo will come to you here. This is going to be fantastically cool.
And you know what? It ends up being some of the series regulars that we see up front at the end of the night. David Porcelli in P1, Andrew Berry, Jason Owens, and Ted Burns, the top 4 names we're used to seeing on a weekly basis here, making their way back to the front. We'll see if these guys can keep it together and see if any of the guys behind them have a shot here. Lights are out on the pace car, and Porcelli is going to lead them to green as they enter turn number 3 for 1 final time.
Ben, we've seen multiple splits this week with 5 cars within a tenth and a half at the finish. First to 5th, 0.15 seconds. Are we going to see it again?
I think we will, unless something happens and they get together in turn 4. If they can keep it clean and get it all, figured out through 4 and down the front straightaway, they're going to be 5 wide. There's also a good chance that they reckon 4.
It's the Freedom 100 all over again, which, by the way, Indianapolis, Mr. Penske, if you're listening, please give us that back. That was one of the best races of the calendar year to watch, was the Freedom 100 for Indy Lights. We're going to see it in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Green and white flags fly together here at the start-finish line. Porcelli gets a solid jump. He's going to be about 2 car lengths ahead. Here comes Owens down to the inside on Berry. They're already starting the fight. Burns is going to go with Owens off of 1.
Into turn number 2 they go. It's a 2-car length lead for David Porcelli out front, side by side for position 2. Jason Owens on the inside, Andrew Berry on the high side. Ted Burns is going to be 3rd car in line. Where is he going to go? He's got Dakota. He's got Matt Hudson behind him. They're 3 wide. Owens is going to try and fit in the gap, and it closes. Berry in the middle. Porcelli on the inside. Dakota's up on the top line. 3 wide as they go into the short chute for the final time.
They're 3. They're going to be 4 wide into turn number 4. Owens on the inside. Porcelli inside left. Berry's on the outside. Drag race to the line. Who's it going to be? They're 4 wide. They're almost 5 wide at the finish. Who is it? Porcelli gets the win. And they junk everything.
And they keep junking into turn 1. Berry's the only one left standing.
David Porcelli gets the win by 5/1000ths of a second over Andrew Berry in position 2. Jason Owen only 5/100ths of a second behind in position number 3. Brody Gander and Ted Burns are going to round out the top 5. I think those two cars were sideways as they came across the finish line. What a race. What a finish.
Oh my goodness. That was abject insanity is what that was. Let's take a look at your results. Porcelli, Berry, Owens, and Garner. Oh, we'll add Ted Burns there. Separated by a 10th and change. How about a 10th and a half? Back to, 7th place, Indy Cassie, who was involved in an earlier incident. Matt Houston coming home 8th. Mike McConville 9th. Antonio Alvarez finished 10th by a quarter of a second.
That is incredible to see. 5/1000ths of a second.
Oh my goodness. That was
I'm looking
epic.
at the finish. Andrew Porcelli beat Berry by quite literally the length of his front wing. The back of Porcelli's front wing is where Andrew Berry's front wing starts. That is so tight.
And it was all about the push from behind. Ted Burns coming up huge there with the shove that got Porcelli across the line. Owens couldn't get it in the bottom, and they broke up behind Andrew Berry, and that's what got number 11 car David Porcelli the win at Indianapolis. Huge championship points here for David. If this strength of field is anything to go by, that's a big championship win for him.
Might be the highest SOF of the season too. So that is just huge for him.
There it is. That was your margin of victory. Absolutely insane what we saw out of these guys. Here we go. Let's do this one.
P4
right
through P6 covered by 100th of a second.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely incredible. iRacing top 10. If this is not number 1 on the iRacing top 10, they're not paying attention, quite frankly. Oh,
look at that.
Goodness. That was rowdy. Let's bring in let's bring in Ted Burns. He is very patiently waiting in the interview room for us here. Ted, you finished 5th by, I don't know, a blink, half a blink. What was that like out there, man? Absolutely incredible racing you guys put on for us.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a tough race. It was I was just trying to find some guys I knew out there. There were a lot of unfamiliar faces, so kind of latched up with them, and so I kind of knew what to expect, and we went from there. And I was surprised we're coming down the back straight on that final lap, and there wasn't anyone else there, and we're only two by two, and I was pretty astonished by that. But I knew there was a huge wave coming, so tried to get a little push there at the end, and it just got crazy on the front stretch, and I didn't know quite where I finished. I knew I crossed the line and then got wrecked, but I guess P5 is where it was.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you much for checking in with us here, bud. We appreciate it. But before we let you go, get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, no problem. I'd like to thank Downforce Racing. Got a pretty decent car. Didn't have enough gear to win today, but could definitely get out there and help push some friends to the lead. So thanks you guys for putting on the broadcast. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it. I'm sure it'll be a blast. You guys had fun, I bet.
Yes, we had a ton of fun here tonight, and let's bring in our race winner, Mr. David Porcelli. Oh my goodness! Let's say it this. Excuse me. You led, 70% of the race? Kind of ho-hum, boring night for you out there, right?
I mean, that's what I was trying my best to accomplish. I don't know if I managed that, but yeah, my focus was, as long as I'm in that clean air, then I'm less likely to get involved in whatever happens behind me. And then it was just a matter of picking the right pusher for the last lap.
David, you were running that bottom line. What did you think of your car in that outer line as Ian took the lead from you there with that push from Andrew?
Oh man, my car was stable there. I was being pushed out there was very, very stressful. I'm just glad that I could bring it home in first. And yeah, I was clenched there for the last 1,000 yards. Especially, I think we were 4 wide through T4 there. Yeah. Oh, wow, what a race. Just happy that I could keep my nose clean and bring it home in first. I think this might have some championship implications winning this race here.
I was just going to say, this potentially could be a championship winning run for you tonight because of the fact that we didn't have John, we didn't have Graham in the race, we didn't have Ed Samborski, and this was a monster strength of field, over 3,600. That's a big point swing here. Even if these guys run over the course of the week, you're still not going to get as many points as you guys picked up here tonight. That's got to be huge for your championship aspirations.
Yeah, if it doesn't secure me a position, at least I know I got that many more points in the season, and it'll give me a lot of confidence heading into the next championship battle. With the drops, it's really hard to calculate. iRacing doesn't give us any calculator or anything like that. We just have to sit down and plug all the numbers in. So I'm just gonna wait and see what happens because I'm not gonna take the time to do that. I think in order to win a championship, you just have to show up and put in your best performances, and I feel like I've done that this season, and I'm looking forward to trying that again next time round.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on a huge win here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're watching the finish again here in slow-mo. Absolutely incredible. Congratulations on picking up the win here, and make sure you get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you out of here.
Yeah, first thank you is to Ted Burns. His push won me the race, so thank you, Teddy. That was amazing. Huge shout out to Andrew and Jason for keeping it clean on the last lap. Team Watson Racing, Racecraft 1 Indianapolis. Hi to the family. Brianna, I love you. Thank you, National Racing Network, for putting on a great broadcast every week, and I will see you for the season finale next week. Thank you, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you much, brother. Let's now bring in, as we're watching the Watt up at the finish, the only guy left with a drivable race car after this one. Our runner-up finisher tonight, Andrew Berry. Man, talk us through that green and white flag lap. That's what we're watching here, just queuing the replay back up. David got a good jump, but it was kind of what you wanted because you and Jason were really able to push up there towards the front through 1 and 2.
Yeah, he got quite the jump. I almost wonder if he wouldn't have been better suited to go a little earlier, but I think I did about all I could do there. I think if the line was maybe 100 feet later, I might have had him, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have many other moves that I could make. I needed like one more push going down the either back stretch or front stretch, I think. To have a shot, but yeah, that was a lap.
What's going through your head when you first feel the bump drafting and you kind of have to check your relative and hope you know who it is behind you?
I mean, I was hoping someone was bumping me because I knew I didn't have a shot on the outside without a push. I didn't even look at the relative. I think Ted said he was after the fact he was pushing me, but I had no didn't really know who was pushing me. Just hoped that they kept it square. I think I just needed a little bit more, and I would have had it. But I'm not going to complain. That was definitely fun. And second's always a good result for sure.
Man, it sounds like you guys had a blast out there. Thank you for putting on an absolutely spectacular show here. And before we let you go, get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yep, just thank the broadcast and Jason and everyone for putting this on. It's been a blast.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much here. And time for our final Victory Lane interview of the night. We're going to pick up our third place finisher, Jason Owens. You were bump drafting Porcelli down the backstretch, and then you banged wheels with Ted Burns at least 4 times down the front straightaway. How did that car finish in one piece?
Chris, I don't know, but all I know is this is some of the most fun I've ever had in this damn, FCC, in this, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, I thought that everybody that voted for this on the schedule was an absolute numbnuts, and that it was going to be a terrible race like Charlotte was. That was some of the most fun I've ever had on this surface.
And I guess some of that comes from the fact that this, as the SOF race for the week, this was a 36:30, I think it was, iRating. I mean, absolutely monstrous numbers that showed up for this one.
Yeah, like that may be the highest oval SOF we've ever had, and it's here where we're bump drafting these cars at 270 kilometers an hour. It's absolutely insane, but it's a blast. Like I don't know. All I know is got to give a ton of credit to all the guys in the top. Like, I mean, hell, the top 11 finished in what, like. The top 10 were within a quarter second,
yes.
Right? And so, like, got to give a ton of credit to everybody. Everybody raced super clean. There were a couple taps that were some incidents early on, but like there was bump drafting going on. We were trying to send people around Porcelli to get him out of the lead. Just an absolute blast of a race, and I'm sure you guys caught it on the broadcast. I can't wait to go back and watch it. But coming through the short shoot, Porcelli moved up to side draft Andrew just a bit, and I said, F it. I'm sending it in there. There's a half of a car width. I'm not going to go below the white line, but let's see if I can make this thing skinny and stick it in here. And, you know, like, I had a shot, finished third on the podium, brought the 3D Wrap Riley Children's Hospital Extra Life car home on the podium. Had a bunch of fun doing it, man. Thanks for putting on the broadcast. This was a blast.
Yes, this one was a ton of fun. You got the sponsor plugs and thank yous out of the way. Man, this was just fun. And by the way, fantastic job of wadding up the leader so he couldn't, or the winner, so he couldn't do the donuts after the checkered flag as well. I'm sure that was much appreciated by David.
No, I think he actually got me. We're gonna go with that. He got me. And I was trying to organize. Like, we came across the line, everybody within a quarter second, nice and fine. I come on the radio, say, "Hey guys, let's everybody go around and do an attenuator party." Then everybody wadded it up right across the line. So that's not on me.
We'll still blame you for it anyway. But thank you much for checking in with us here. And we cut them off, too. This was a bang-up broadcast tonight, man. Let me tell you. That was absolutely insane, is the only word that I can use for that. Just crazy what we saw here tonight out of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. And, oh, my goodness. Kylo, we'll come to you first to wrap things up. Did we get what we wanted?
I think so. I think that was about as exciting as we're going to have for an Indy Pro 2000 oval race. That was super well done. Bravo to the guys in the field. Just some racing incidents and bringing out a couple of cautions, and super finish at the end. The Freedom 100 of iRacing has officially been born. I think we need to make this happen every year. The Thursday before the 500, we have our own Freedom 500.
You know what? I think that now that we've seen this race run, Ben, I think this is the next of the TNT special events. We're going to run the Vintage Indy Dumpster Fire, and we're going to run a true Freedom 100 for the PM18s here at the Speedway. Man, your first time in the booth here with us. What are you thinking? How do you beat that?
I don't know. I have no idea. That was insane to watch. It was. I am shocked there were not more wrecks, and I'm really especially shocked that they didn't wreck until after they got across the line, because they were bumping wheels all the way from 4 to the line, and everybody kept it pointing straight, and that was astonishing. Because I was watching it, just waiting, waiting to yell, "There's the wreck," and it never came.
That was the one that really kind of had me surprised a little bit, was even that Netcode didn't get involved. Because we've seen it in other series. Quite frankly, I think we saw it last week. The other night, Jason Owens got within about 6 feet of a car, and it just turned them both. somehow the netcode gods kind of held out for us here, and that made that race as fun as it could be. Let's give you a quick update here. We are going to stitch together both cuts of the race into one kind of full long form show. We'll post that up on the NRN YouTube channel tomorrow. And also look for our 2022 Indy 500 records to be broken video. That will premiere tomorrow on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around and hanging out with us here and working through our blue screen of death. Matt, Race First checking in, saying thanks for the broadcast. We appreciate it. Man, Mike McCullen saying that that went as expected. Yes, it did. It was absolutely fantastic. Check out Mike, Jason Owens, and Ben on the Pizza at the Pagoda podcast, along with our buddy James Watson. Like we said, epically long show for the Indy 500 preview. We will either do a watch-along or a race recap just about as soon as the checkered flag falls if we don't do a live show during the race. Coming up this Sunday. Tomorrow night, it is the Carb Night Classic, weather permitting, at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Check that one out on the Indy Pro channels as well as the USAC guys. I believe will be on Flow Racing, but we'll post that up and confirm it. Silver Crowns, Midgets, USF 2000s, and Indy Pro 2000s all on the oval together at IRP. That's going to be absolutely insane. If it rains out, that will run Saturday morning. That will be followed by the Little 500 at Anderson Speedway. 33 of the fastest pavement sprint car drivers in the world. 11 rows of 3 for 500 laps at the crazy high banks of Anderson. And then on Sunday, the Grand Prix of Monaco kicks things off, followed by the 106th running of the greatest spectacle in racing. Follow it up with the Coke 600 at night. It is the greatest racing weekend of the year. Enjoy it, folks. Remember what Monday is all about. Take the day Monday to honor those that made the ultimate sacrifice for us. 17 veterans a day are losing their lives to suicide. It's something that has to stop. It has to change. If you need the help, reach out. Somebody is there to talk to you. We love all of you. We don't want to see we don't want to see any more of our heroes lost to suicide. But with that, we are getting out of here. It has been an absolutely epic night of racing here on the National Racing Network. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Check it out tomorrow. We'll get the full race replay up, and until then, we will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.